Most men think jealousy comes from showing off. That's wrong. Jealousy doesn't start in her eyes, it starts in her uncertainty. When a woman feels slightly unsure about where she stands with you, her emotional investment increases automatically. The key is not making her feel threatened, but making her feel replaceable without you trying. Here's the first psychological shift. When you stop reacting emotionally to her attention patterns, something strange happens. If she pulls back and you stay calm, her mind starts asking questions you never asked out loud. Why isn't he affected? Did I lose control? Is someone else getting his attention? That internal questioning is the seed of jealousy, not silence, not coldness, but emotional neutrality. Men who stay centered create more emotional tension than men who explain themselves. Now, here's where most men mess up. They try to create jealousy, but jealousy only works when it feels accidental. That's why the second shift is powerful. You subtly expand your world without announcing it. Your schedule becomes fuller. Your availability becomes less predictable. Your life continues even when she's not centered in it. You don't disappear, you don't brag, you simply stop orbiting. And when she senses she's no longer the emotional center, her attention sharpens. Women feel jealousy most intensely when they sense loss of influence, not loss of affection. That's an important distinction. Now, listen carefully. Jealousy intensifies when another woman exists only as a possibility, not a threat. You never compare. You never mention names emotionally. But when you're socially engaged, relaxed, and grounded around others, her subconscious starts running scenarios, and the mind always exaggerates what it cannot see clearly. This is why calm confidence is more triggering than flirtation. At this point in the video, most men start realizing something important. This isn't about tricks, it's about energy control. If this perspective is already changing how you see attraction, you'll want to stay connected to this channel, because everything here is about understanding psychology without chasing or forcing outcomes. Now, let's go deeper. There's a behavior that flips jealousy instantly, and most men do the opposite. There's a behavior that flips jealousy instantly, and most men do the exact opposite of it. They over-explain. The moment you justify yourself, you remove mystery, and mystery is the oxygen of attraction. When you answer questions calmly but briefly, when you don't rush to clarify where you stand, her mind fills in the gaps for you. And here's the truth most people won't say out loud. A woman doesn't get jealous because she wants reassurance. She gets jealous because she wants certainty she no longer has. That's why emotional restraint works, not coldness, not manipulation, restraint. Now, notice this shift. When she notices you're no longer trying to win her mood, she starts monitoring yours. She watches your tone, your energy, your reactions. That's the moment power quietly changes hands. Another psychological trigger is non-competition. When you stop competing for her attention, she starts competing for yours, internally. This is subtle but powerful. You don't rush replies. You don't mirror excitement instantly. You respond with presence, not urgency. Urgency signals need. Presence signals value. And jealousy only activates when value feels at risk. Here's where things get misunderstood. Jealousy isn't anger, it's fear of emotional displacement. So when she sees you emotionally stable, socially grounded, and unaffected by minor distance, her attachment system wakes up. She doesn't think, he's trying to make me jealous. She thinks, why do I suddenly care more? That confusion pulls her closer. At this stage, many men panic and try to lock things down. That kills the effect. The real move is to stay exactly the same, consistent, centered, unrushed. Consistency creates contrast, and contrast creates emotional intensity. There's one final psychological lever that makes jealousy surface without any visible action. That final lever is selective availability. Not disappearing, not ignoring, but choosing when and how you show up. When your availability is predictable, your value becomes background noise. But when it's stable yet not guaranteed, her attention sharpens. Here's how this works psychologically. The human brain is wired to notice what might be lost, not what's always present. So when you're occasionally unavailable without explanation, her mind starts creating stories, not accusations, questions. Is he busy? Is something else more important right now? Why do I suddenly feel off? That emotional uncertainty is the seed of jealousy. And here's the critical part most men mess up. You must never announce your unavailability. No, I'm busy tonight. No, I have other plans. You simply live your life and respond when you respond. That quiet confidence signals options, even if you never mention another woman. Jealousy doesn't require competition, it requires perceived possibility. Now let's layer something deeper. When she senses that your happiness doesn't depend on her reactions, her nervous system reacts. Because attraction thrives on emotional polarity. She wants to feel chosen, but only when choosing you still feels uncertain. That's why trying to prove loyalty too early actually reduces desire. Security comes after attraction, not before. Now pay attention to this next shift. When jealousy starts to surface, she may test you. Sudden mood changes, passive comments, small challenges. This is where